That's today's youth for you, I guess. Wanna go someplace where we can be alone?
No, not really.
That was quick.
Wait, how did we get here?
I have something to tell you.
Okay, what is it?
I almost have all the Infinity Stones.
Oh no, what is she saying now? Those stones are from the movies! I'm going to go now.
To think he would turn out to be such a troublemaker.
Now that's comedy.
Alrighty, so I guess I gotta give the warning to people who somehow stumbled upon this. Yes, this has spoilers for Persona 5. The other parts to this are in the description, and yes, Kawakami is evil.
Who?
Okay, now that we have that out of the way, it's time to continue on where we last left off, as the group come to realize that there was one central key person who has been at fault for everything in this game. And yes, he's got a shiny bald head.
Damn brat! I'll sue!
And we did just fake our death.
How tough are you?
How tough am I?
Sojiro then tells us that it could be this guy called Shido, i.e. said bald dude, as he did work with Futaba's mother and would know all this cognition stuff, because he would also ramble on and on about how he wanted to be prime minister, like those stories kids tell you about their dreams and ambitions, till they realize how soul-crushing working in a society can be, especially drawing all these thumbnails and making all these videos every single week and they don't get any views.
You getting tired, man? Don't be afraid to take a breather.
We then say that this Shido guy probably used our missions to work his way up the political ladder to get elected as the next prime minister. In fact, all the big bosses we took down were helping Shido at some point, and we did him a favor by silencing them. Sojiro says how he never mentioned this beforehand because Shido would have disposed of us as soon as he found out. Hey, come on, old man, we ain't that weak. Well, at least we know who the next target should be.
But the true battle has only just begun.
Then we cut to Shido plus Pancakes, and for whatever reason, they do the old let's randomly recap our backstories, even though there's no need for us to do it right now, but we know there's an audience looking at us and playing the game.
For real? Power powers power.
So pretty much he used Pancakes to commit all the shutdowns for him. Pancakes' benefit was that he got to prosecute the criminals he shut down, leading to easy wins for him and his stardom.
And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
We then go back to Shido's office, like randomly just stand outside the Parliament building, and start to blab keywords to unlock his palace.
What about a mansion?
We unfortunately don't find it and have to leave since, we have a dude in a hoodie outside a Parliament building, because you know he's not really meant to be alive.
What?
And while we have our group meeting at the cafe, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure how loud megaphones are, we can hear Shido's live speech from the station. So Ryuji and, Haru? Yeah, okay, sure, why not? She seems like she would run more than Makoto. Okay, yeah, game, alright, give her more screen time. They run off while we follow. Ryuji then finally, wanting to get the plot moving, just straight up walks up to him to ask the bald man some questions. He gets pushed by that dude back at the restaurant, which brings all the flashbacks to our mind. Because, we technically don't realize till now that it's the dude who got us arrested. But I mean, come on. How many old bald men in this game can be responsible for all this evil? Anyway, no one in the crowd cares that an adult guard assaulted a teenager, and he drives off. We go back and tell everyone of our relationship with him, how it feels like destiny, that the dude who made us come here is now the final boss. So once again, we go back to the Parliament to try the words. But oh look, he mentioned something about a ship, which turns out to be the key word. Well then, dear viewer, what do you think the palace is? Yeah, okay, it's obviously
A giant ship!
What?
Shido feels as though he's the captain of a sinking country, and why he wants to be elected to steer the ship to safety. So begins the final dungeon on board his ship, and the main theme is that there are a lot of locked rooms, and we need to talk to individuals to get their permission slips to be able to enter. Also, we turn into rats for a bit. Yeah, I don't know what was the point of that, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm so freaking adorable.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
And so this takes us to many different areas on the ship, where we need to find his influential figures and get their permission slips. And by which I mean, we talk to them, it does a little skit, and every single time they get mad and battle us. Like take this dude on the deck for example.
I would never give one to some nobodies like yourselves.
A nobody?
It seems he won't talk to us since we are just common peasants.
I'm quite charmed to meet you, sir. My name is Anne Windsor.
Oh my goodness, she has a British accent.
What about it?
So we then reach the final guy to get the permission slip from, and yeah, it's the dude from Yakuza 0. Well, at least he looks a little more intimidating than the other boy.
Actually, we're here to suggest a tattoo design for you.
A tattoo?
Okay, that's it. Sorry, Makoto. Anne has now overtaken you as the best Phantom Thief female.
This guy is great at drawing. He's an artist.
Oh, well, you know what they say. Real life imitates video games and all that.
That's not something to be excited about.
And so we get a little skit where Yusuke draws his tattoo, but everyone here is uncultured and thinks that this looks bad. The Yakuza dude, however, is like,
Bro, this is amazing. Come work for me.
and Yusuke is like,
Psych!
I'll rip you open and tear out your insides!
We're still gonna fight after all that?
I don't know what to say, Ryuji. This is a JRPG. You gotta do these pointless padding events, as the whole game is just about fights. Like seriously, do you know how long I've been playing this game?
Calm down.
So we beat him, and his shirt magically appears, while he goes, okay, yeah, here you go get his treasure. Well, alrighty then.
Precisely.
But on the way, we meet a surprising person. So here is Pancakes, ready to take us down. He goes on about how he envies our life, how we have friends, and how he's a loner, and so on. After which, he summons a second persona, and uses it to cause the violent nature and shadows to rise. That is to say, this second persona was the cause of the mental shutdowns. But we easily beat him.
You talk big, but you're really nothing more than a little kid throwing a temper tantrum.
He then goes sicko mode, turning into that person in the black mask by causing himself to have a mental shutdown, i.e. go crazy. Don't mind if I do! And we battle him once more and defeat him. Pancakes then cries out about how his life is unfair, and we are like, well, if you had friends, and maybe some maple syrup, you might have been good like us. We try to convince him to join our team,
Dude, you're more than special.
as he does want to take Shido down, because he revealed earlier that Shido is his father. Yeah, I know, I don't see the resemblance, game, I'm sorry. Wait a minute, does that mean Pancakes will go bald when he's older? Oh no!
That must be it.
But just before he accepts, guess who?
Akechi?
It's the Shido Cognition version of him. And well, he's a bit more psychotic. He says he must eliminate him as per Shido's orders because, if you can't tell, Shido likes to clean up after himself. And just before that, Pancake shoots the fake Akechi and an emergency door to lock themselves in. He then tells us maybe in the remake Persona 5 Royal, he will be alive. And then we hear 2 gunshots. Rest in peace, Pancakes.
Delicious pancakes.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Not really caring about it, which is something I did notice in the late game. The thieves actually forget Akechi very quickly. They move on and find the throne room, meaning they can now head back to the real world to prepare to send the calling card. But well, he's like a big shot politician, so how can we actually get the warning to him to make his treasure appear? Well, Futaba and her teenager brain can somehow hack every TV screen in Japan to show a message from the Phantom Thieves while they are in their outfits, which means they went back into Shido's palace or mementos to have the outfits show up, because remember, these don't exist in the real world, and they brought a camera and lighting to film this. Then Futaba edited all of this with voice modulation and all these effects. Yes, I know it's a video game with a talking cat. Okay, I'll shush now.
Sure.
So we alert Shido because he's like, yeah, bring it on, kiddos. And we go back in to have the villain's final speech.
Everything you've done has been for your own selfish gains.
And he then dons a spiky helmet while riding a giant golden lion symbolizing the masses, which then transforms into a flying lion, which then transforms into a giant pyramid. Okay then.
I see.
Who cares?
After defeating him, he's like,
Nanomachines.
and shows us what he does in his spare time.
I shall win this game.
What is this power? Careful, those muscles aren't just for show.
But those muscles were for show, and we lower his health, bringing another phase where he turns into a tomato. Tomato. We then finally beat the big bad boss, which also brings his shirt back like that Yakuza dude from before.
Sure.
Shido goes on about how sorry he is, and I'm like, mate, this is the final boss, no way he's going down that easily, and rightly so, because for whatever reason, Shido can sense what they are doing to him inside him, and takes these experimental pills that will cause him to go into a coma, which will shut down the palace early.
Is that even possible?
Which is kind of pointless since we then take the treasure and the palace collapse still happens as usual. Like, does anyone else see how pointless that was? Ryuji then defies physics to free us from the Titanic, but he dies or something.
No!
We then come to the real world, and the girls are crying at the loss of Ryuji, but he's obviously fine, and then they beat him to a bloody pulp. No, I'm not kidding. They play this for comedy and beat up Best Boy and leave him alone on the streets.
Of course!
Well, okay, surely that key important scene did something to the plot of the character growth, right? Look, Shido's awake. That means his plan worked, right? Like he's still evil? No, he had a change of heart. So, what was the point of this whole scene? You know, while going through this game for like a third time, it really gets noticeable at the dip in quality after the amazing first boss. Because even though Shido was built up over the whole game, and he was the only villain who took a pill thing, what was the point of it? Since the palace would have collapsed as soon as they took the treasure, and then he still has a change of heart, so the outcome is the same, except, well, Ryuji has brain damage now from his own friends. There is a point in a video game where it's imitating real life serious aspects for a lot of its playthrough, suddenly pulls up a cartoony beat up teammate gimmick, and well, it just didn't really sit well with me. But anyway, we now wait for him to announce his change of heart, which means free time. But I won't really go over this because pretty much it's just Joker getting romantically involved with many women, but you don't really care about that, right? And so we see Shido still won the election, but during his speech he confesses everything. And I mean everything. The public is then confused and such, and we are happy because we won against the final boss.
I've reconsidered my opinion of you, inmate.
Wait, who are you again?
Swag!
So we celebrate with some more food, and Saya's like, gee, thanks, but I still remember, you're still students. Did you forget? You got exams. But we then see the election team of Shidos. They are not happy he's going to rat them out, so they set their own plan, which involves delaying the inauguration and paying doctors to state publicly it was all stress and such, that the mental shutdowns were just some disease, which meant that we, the Phantom Thieves, just used this illness to win over the public.
What the heck?
So i.e., it's like we don't even exist anymore.
This is crazy.
Yep, all of that work for nothing. The public still have faith in the bad, bold man.
We know he doesn't need a psychiatric evaluation.
And he technically still is in power as a puppet leader, with Sei now being dropped from the case, since a boss, who works for Shido, is like, are you crazy? You can't prosecute the Prime Minister.
What?
And we are back to square one.
Mementos.
I'm sorry, Morgana. What was that?
Mementos.
Quite the funny joke.
Okay, well, this could be our ticket out of here. Morgana says how, in Mementos, since it is a palace, it should have a treasure, and that by taking it, everyone's hearts might change, and that the public will finally see the evil Shido has done, and open their eyes to the truth. We tell Sei that we will do this, and in turn she must promise that she will get Shido convicted in a court of law.
I swear to make Masayoshi Shido stand and be tried in the court of law.
Oh, why are you the best character in the entire game?
No.
But there's a catch. Since this is mementos, it would most likely be the end of palaces everywhere, meaning we won't be able to do this job anymore. This will be our final mission. But I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong. Wait, Igor, I didn't realize how shiny and bold your head was. Wait, what are you doing? And who the heck are you? And Kawakami, what are you doing with the infinity gauntlet?
I finally have all the stones.
Ha, stones. What do you mean? Wait, what are you doing?
You should have gone for the head.
See you all in the end game.
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Sheik!